All right. So welcome, welcome everybody. It's another interesting Monday. So we're here once again for the market review session, which is an avenue for us to take a look at the markets and see what exactly is going on in the markets and prepare for trading week. As usual, you guys know that this is that session where you get to make inquiries about whatever commodities you would like us to take a look at and just look into all of these things together. So welcome once again, Nandom. Fitness with Malcolm, is good to have you here. So you're welcome, my friends. Apologies, my eyes are reacting. I've not had my glasses on. Apologies about that. You might see me touch my eyes. Fine. Okay, so as usual, guys, you know we're going to be starting with the majors. All right, so we're going to go over now to the majors, break down what we're expecting from the majors, and at the same time, have an outlook for what we expect the markets to do. Thereafter, we can then consolidate whatever meaning, based on requests from you guys. So first of all, this is the daily time frame of Euro USD, as you can see, watermark. All right, and from the arrows, you can see that my expectation is that we're going to get a bullish, bullish reaction. I'm going to break down, what exactly it is. All right, so here you can see that this was a previous low. All right, that was a previous low, and we can see that price swept liquidity from that low. All right, price swept liquidity from the low here. Afterwards, we got there and break of structure. Right, and that break of structure left us with this as our demand zone. As you can see, price got into that and began to move back up. That I believe might be targeted fair value gap in the rest of this fair value gap. So it's my expectation or my belief that price is going to just rise back up, close up this fair value gap before we then see, bearish movement from this BTC sweep, this break. Right. So that is my expectation from Euro USD, which means that my sentiment, at least for the first couple of days on Euro USD, is that okay, guys? Richard Bell, thank you so much. It's good to have you here once again. So that is my sentiment from USD, right? If you break it down a bit further, be able to understand, in a lot more detail why these things are. All right. So feel free, follow all of this great ideas during the course of the week. And I can assure you that, to a large extent, you're going to have, very profitable week, provided that your risk management is not tampered with. All right. So now we go to GBP USD, right, to see what exactly is going on there. So let's start from the daily time frame GBP USD, right? This is the 50-day moving average. All right. Sorry, the 100-day moving average. This yellow one, right? The red is the 50-day moving average, and on top of that 100-day moving average, we're seeing a demand zone on the 4-hour time frame, right? A demand zone followed by the liquidity sweep from here, right? So on that basis, and we can see that price just recently broke out of this channel, right? So on that basis, my expectation is that price is going to bounce from here, which is also the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so you can see that the sell that I had as my sentiment last week already played out. So with this, my current sentiment would be that price would rise far, right? Price will come this far, and then after that, we can then begin to examine what happens. Higher high here, followed by lower test of probably the buy zone around here, and then drop. You guys get it now. So that is my expectation on GBP USD. Fantastic, fantastic. Remember, what we're doing here is simply to give you, confirmations for whatever confluence or for whatever sentiment you initially have on your own, right? It's not to give you financial advice, rather, it's to help you provide a second opinion about the things that you already expect from the market, right? Okay, so let's move on. AUD USD. I want you guys to see this clearly, so I'm going to first of all clear the chart. Now we have this is the 50-day moving average. All right, I want to believe you guys can see that. Okay, so we have the 50-day moving average, and then we're seeing this demand zone. All right, for those of you who are wondering what exactly is a demand zone, a demand zone is usually a zone that provides, you know, sufficient momentum for buyers in order to come in and break a previous high. All right, so we can also say that a demand zone is an area of price action that engineers a break of structure or engineers a bullish break of structure. So this bullish break of structure here was engineered by this demand zone right here. So we have a demand zone, we have 50 period moving average or the 50-day moving average. All right, then we can come to the 4 hours time frame and then break things down a bit further. So we have this low here, we have this low here. This becomes a trend line, right? Also draw based on, right? So coupling the trend line support plus the demand zone, I think it only makes sense if we're expecting, in fact, there's another smaller demand zone right here, right? So I think it only makes sense to, at this point, begin to anticipate a bullish price action, right? I think that's just the logical thing at this point, right? And the fact that the last break of structure was a bullish break of structure, so we can, we can easily settle the score here in favor of the bulls, right? I want to believe you guys are with me. I want to believe you guys are with me, please. Olaoluwa Ezekiel, we already looked into Euro USD. So if you missed that, you can simply just rewind. All right, you can simply just rewind and then you'll be able to catch up. Okay. All right, beautiful. I think I followed up on your comments a bit. So let's come now to gold, which is XAU USD. All right, it's done virtually everything that I expected it would do, but let me clear the template so that you guys can follow me afresh. So we start from the daily time frame as usual, and we can see that on the daily time frame, this was a recent break of structure. All right, this was a recent break of structure, meaning that the demand zone that engineered that break of structure will be this. All right, then we go to the 4 hours time frame, and on the 4 hours time frame, then we spot this, which is our liquidity sweep, followed by the break of structure. All right, which means that here now we have price returning into the demand zone from the 4 hours time frame. All right, and that brings us to a conclusion that in no time we should begin to see increased bullish activities, all right, which would push prices on gold even higher. Right? Yeah. So that's basically what my sentiment is on gold. Are we together, please? All right, so that is gold. All right, that's gold at the moment. So I think we're pushing further. All right, and we're going to just be looking into a few other things. All right, so just keep your inquiries. All right, whatever commodities you want us to take a look at. All right, just type it out. All right, and then we can deal with it. Okay. All right. So I'm following. Just type whatever it is that you guys want. All right. Let's look into it together. Let me see what commodities you want us to take a look at next. Richard Bell, BTC USD. All right, let's do BTC USD. Okay, I'm gonna after USD CHF, I'm gonna take just two more commodities. Excel and Nuri, you said USD CHF. All right, so two more commodities, and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, Richard Bell, I saw your request already, so don't worry about that. All right, that will be US 100 NASDAQ. All right, one more commodity, and that will be it. Yes, burning spare. We already did Euro USD and GBP USD. So if you missed that, you can simply just after the session ends, just rewind a bit and catch up. One more commodity that we're going to look at. Anybody just give us one commodity, one more to take a look at, and then we'll do all of the sessions together, or look at all of the commodities together. Okay. Yes, I already saw US 100. That's fine. I need one more, just one last one. All right, Euro GBP, and that will be it. All right, so guys, let's start from BTC USD. So this is BTC USD on the daily time frame. All right, and you can see here I have my trend line support already drawn out. Right, there also seems to be, let's work. There's a demand zone. All right, there's a demand zone right around here. All right, and I think that's the demand zone responsible for this break of structure. All right, so here we have our demand zone. So my expectation would be that price comes into that demand zone and then we get a pull back up, especially since the fact, considering the fact that that area aligns with, 76, 88% of our Fibonacci retracement. You guys get it now. So it's my expectation that price would come down into this demand zone and then we'll get a pump all the way back up, or possibly BTC climbs back all the way to 72,000 region. All right, so that's BTC USD. The next one we're going to look at is USD JPY. All right, as requested by Nandom. So we're going to look into USD JPY right now. right? So this is USD JPY at the moment. Remember, my expectation is that Euro USD, GBP USD go bullish, all right, which is going to make things a bit difficult for USD JPY to remain bullish, all right. And this, at the same time, we have what I think looks like a supply zone here based on this break of structure and as well this break of structure. So this looks like a supply zone that I would possibly be interested in, right? Yeah, that looks like a supply zone that is worth considering. I have a tiny bit of a liquidity sweep, but I don't think that that's easy to spot, so I'm not going to bother you guys with it. All right. And considering the fact that this looks like USD JPY is in around an all-time high or has recently created an all-time high. So instead of the Fibonacci retracement tool, what we're going to be using at this instance is the Fibonacci expansion tool. Yes, which is drawn based on the most recent swings. So this was one swing, all right, swing high, swing low. And after that, we had another swing, all right. Maybe not so major, but I think it's something that I would like to take at nonetheless. Yeah, so this second swing leaves us with a zone here, right, which is the 100% expansion of this movement. All right, so what does that tell us? It tells us that this is the 100% expansion, which is the region where we might begin to expect or, identify some kind of reversal. Right. However, word of advice for anyone who is interested in taking this trade, all right, you need to go to the lower time frame, 4 hours time frame maybe, all right, and wait for a clear and distinctive break of structure, break of trend line. You're going to wait for price to break out of this pattern, right, and then break structure as well. So if you want to sell, this is what you must see: a move that breaks the trend line and at the same time breaks, breaks below the trend line, breaks below the previous low, right? That is what you definitely want to see. Is that clear, please? All right, Jafar, I'm seeing. I saw your request. However, like I said, you're seeing sell side liquidity. I am not. All right, at least not right now because there's still some room for price to reclaim some of the fair value gaps that have been created as a result of the NFP. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that's my own sentiment. But like I always tell people, trade what you see. Right? What I'm doing here, like I mentioned earlier, is not a financial advice. It's simply to serve as a confluence for whatever you already expect. All right. So only use this as a confirmation for what you already have in mind. All right. Rather than have it as a um, an instructive an instructive kind of sentiment. So that's not it. We're all traders. None of us have 100% control over the market. So it's important that you understand that and work that. All right. So that's all right. Benoso, thank you so much for the shout out. Really appreciate. You're welcome. Um, so we've taken a look at BTC USD, USD JPY. Now we're gonna do USD CHF. Right, USD CHF. That's the next one on the request list. We're just going to wait a bit for this to load up. Yep. All right. So 4 hours time frame USD CHF, we can this sweep. All right, followed by the break of structure. Leaving us with this as a demand zone. All right. But at the moment, you can see that price is currently reacting from the demand zone. The target is possibly somewhere around here. All right. I think that could be the target of that move. All right. So for USD CHF, I think we might be bullish. All right. It could. It's looking like what would play out as a buy to sell kind of scenario. All right. That's what I'm seeing right now. Okay. I might be wrong. I might be right. But that's what I'm seeing right now. Likelihood of a kind of buy to sell scenario. Price pushes higher so that it can have enough room to drop even further. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Um, Not really sure about this as a supply zone, but I guess we'll find out when price gets there. All right. So for now, USD CHF, the sentiment is still quite bullish. Right. It's still quite bullish. We have a trend line, a trend line resistance here. We'll see what happens when price gets there. And then based on that, we can just formulate what we anticipate would happen. And also, if you check this with the Fibonacci expansion tool, see that this is right around the 100% expansion, which is why we're getting the retracement. So around the 61.8 is very likely that we get the continuation of the move all the way down 1.618. Do we get that, please? Oh, Andre, you're a bit late, all right, because I already took a list of all the commodities we'll be taking a look at. Sorry about that, but please, that means that you should try your best to come very, very punctual next week, Monday, all right, so that we can take a look at all of commodities you would like us to take a look at before the windows get closed. All right, so finally, we're going to look at NASDAQ, which is US 100, and Euro GBP. Right, NASDAQ and then Euro GBP. So US 100 coming up right now. Okay. All right, so this is NASDAQ. All right, and remember what I said when a commodity is currently at an all-time high and you want to figure out whether it's ready to drop or not. All right, there are a couple of ways to go about that, but one of the most reliable ways is to use the Fibonacci expansion tool. Right, this was our level 100. Right, let me how to do something. All right. So the thing is, as far as US 100 is concerned, right now, all right, it seems to be trading within this. Right, it seems trading within this pattern. All right, within that channel. Okay, so there's a likelihood that price bounces off that upper trend line or the trend line resistance, comes lower, then continues higher. All right, very likely. I wouldn't dispute the possibility of that. All right, which means that on the 4 hours time frame, what we can do now is to wait for a clear break of structure break of trend line, right? And this would be the trend line that I would personally watching out for. Right, so I want to see price break below this low. Right, I want to see price break below that low, then come back for a retest and then drop all the way down to this region. All right, so that's my sentiment on US 100. It's a bearish sentiment. However, I do not have a trigger for a bearish trade yet. All right, there's no trigger for a sell yet. So I'm just going to have to wait for that to present itself. You guys get it now? All right, so that is US 30, US 100 rather, all right, which is NASDAQ. Then finally, we're going to take a look at Euro GBP. All right, so that's the next commodity we're going to be looking at, Euro GBP. Right, let's see how this loads up. But already, I believe this would be a supply zone. Yeah, so that's a supply zone. We have a previous high here, previous low here, right? Higher high, lower low, which is liquidity sweep and break of structure. So the expectation now would be that price would most likely keep climbing higher, right? Till it probably comes into the 200, 200 level, 200 period moving average, right? And then from there, we can take something along this line. There's also a sort of trend line resistance being formed here, all right? But like I said, I want to see price coming to that supply zone before I take any decision whatsoever, all right? Because you'll see that that supply zone aligns with, our pivot zone, which have been broken, all right? It's a turncoat region because price broke it downwards, all right? So now price is returning to that region as, for a retest. So I think that Euro GBP in the meantime would be bullish, all right, till it comes into that supply zone and then we get major drop. Okay, I'm currently on my MetaTrader 5, my MetaTrader 5 by FBS. All right, that's the current terminal that I'm using for this analysis. All right, so with that said, guys, we've looked at the majors, Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD. We've looked at gold. We've looked at US 100. We've looked at USD JPY, USD CHF, BTC USD, and at the same time, Euro GBP. All right. So I want to say, guys, it's an amazing time with you guys as usual. Every Monday around this time is when we come together for our weekly market outline. All right. And weekly market outlook, rather. So you don't want to miss it, guys. You really don't want to miss it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week, Monday, same time. My name remains Adetola Freeman, and it's been an absolute pleasure hosting you guys tonight. Do have a fantastic trading week. God bless you.